For those of you who are interested, I've been playing with this new Prezi.com. It's a little bit different than PowerPoint, and I started it because everybody said they're a little bored of the PowerPoint. So it's free to educators. If you go to Prezi.com, you can sign up free under the educators account, and it's not too bad. It has tutorials, and it's pretty easy to set up a more powerful presentation. So, this is a tech talk for those on a mission. What kind of mission? A Kahn Academy mission. Okay, so this is for free, for everyone, forever. And these are the different topics I'm going to be talking about. I want to show you Kahn in action. Some actual students of mine who allowed me to film them while they were doing Kahn Academy. I teach the upper level math, but I have all levels in there. So it's a little video of my volunteer and a couple of my students. Then we are going to go into how to create a class, how easy it is to create a class in Kahn Academy, how teachers can sign up. When you sign up as a teacher, you're signed up as a coach and a learner. How to add students, what exactly missions are. Missions are an easy way to pick out content that aligns to high school equivalency. So let's all zoom in and we'll start the Kahn in action. As soon as I get it going here. All right. I'm not sure if you can hear this. I'm hoping. I just wanted to share a couple minutes with Kahn Academy. The volume might be a little sketchy. This is one of my higher level students. He is in the same mission that everybody else is, and that's what's nice about the missions, is they give them what they need so that they don't have to go over what they already know. So he is working on an algebra mission. He's actually working with functions, which is pretty high level when it comes to the algebra that's needed for the high school equivalency exams. I try to get a computer lab once a week so they can incorporate the technology needed for the computer skills for the high school exit exams and the workplace. This is Joseph. He's also working on the same mission. It's nice because they can come in and get started right away once they're set up. I usually have some sort of live report on the screen so they can see when they're doing well. They'll get spikes in their live report. So let's go on to the next one. I'm actually going to escape and go to the smaller screen since we're done with the video. So the next thing we really need to know is, where is Kahn Academy? How do I find it? We're going to go to KhahnAcademy.org. If you just Google Kahn Academy, it's usually the first thing that shows up. You'll see a little green screen like the one you see here where you can learn anything, and it has an icon for Teachers Start Here. So you're going to click Start Here, and it's a very simple process they guide you through. Creating a class. Before you start a mission, you have to name a class. So once you have signed in, they usually send you an email, and then you acknowledge the email, and you come back, and that's when you can create a class. You're going to click your name at the top right of the screen, which is your dashboard. You're going to select Your Students. Then you're going to click the green button that says Add a Class. You're going to follow the prompts to name your class. I'm going to show you what I've done as far as my naming convention when it comes to my Kahn Academy class as I share my screen when we're done the Prezi. So it's a very simple thing. Once you've created a class, you want to decide what kind of content to give them. Now, it's not just related to the content that you decide. Students can also add things and add missions and different content, which is nice, especially if they're really using it at home and they're really supplementing other classes. The missions are basically subject leveled. They encompass all kinds of math from kindergarten up until high school prep. So these are suggestions on which kind of missions actually to pick. If your students have tested below grade level, you can choose things like basic math, arithmetic, or the pre-algebra. No matter what they choose, they're going to give them the foundational skills that they need as a prerequisite and the subject level. If your students have tested in their TABE or whatever level testing instrument you use and have tested at grade level, then you're going to select a mission that's appropriate for that level. That's to help you reinforce learning. That's not to say that they can't go on to other missions. Above grade level or test-ready students can explore the above grade level or multiple missions. Choosing a mission is an easy way to decide, easy hands-free kind of way to, it doesn't take much work if you select a mission. It throws them right into it and you're pretty hands-off after that point. Setting up students, how to add students. There's 3 ways really to add a student. Some of your students, you might be surprised they already have a Khan Academy account. Maybe another teacher has set them up, or maybe they have set one up themselves. If they already have a Khan Academy account, when you create your class list, what you want to do is each of these class lists that you create has a class code. You'll see next underneath the class there'll be a code. It's about 6 digits, F, X, W. It'll have like 3 letters and 3 numbers. So you want to have students log in as they usually do when they log into their accounts, and from their profile page they'll see a little tab that says coaches. They're going to click the coaches, and then they'll see a little place that says add you as a coach, where they can type in the class code. If they have an email account and they don't have a Khan Academy account, what you can do is actually send them an invite to your class. So they can click on the link once they get the email, and it will send them directly to the registration. They'll register. They'll probably have to get another email where they'll click that to come back, and they'll be automatically added into the class that you selected them in. If they don't have an email, you can actually, this is especially good for students who are in orientation who haven't even gotten in the system yet. If they don't have an email, you can create your own students' accounts. You can record their usernames and their passwords, and then all they have to do is type in that username and the password that you selected, and they'll be immediately in your class. So what I'd like to do next is to share the screen. I'm actually going to show you different things in the Khan Academy. In Khan Academy, if you're not signed in, they have this tutorial, and you can actually go through an average mission, for example. This is a mission that was created by Khan Academy. If you're interested in exploring this, you can go to Khan Academy, make sure you're signed out of your own account, and then you're going to type in, if you see up here, www.khanacademy.org/coaches/reports. So this is a demo that you can click on and you can see how it works. So student progress. Student progress can be decided at any level. If you click on the drop-down menu, you'll see if you want to look at students who've only gotten 40 to 49% of mission mastery, you could click on that and it would filter that. I'm going to keep it at any level. You can do it by topic or skills, and you can do it according to what time frame. I'm going to put all time because I figure that that's going to have more stuff, I'm hoping. Whatever you do, you can actually click this to bookmark it so that you don't have to go through the whole thing and filter it all again. Student progress is the most important of the reports because you can get an instant view of how your whole class is doing or how a particular student is doing. So in this class, you can see all the students for all times. We have our student name, which is according to their email that they've been given. The red box indicates the number of students struggling in this date range. So it can be filtered by date range, student name, how many they've mastered is the blue, how much time they spent on Khan Academy, and a date range can be filtered. This is their total points that they've earned. So we can do it by class. We can filter it up and down like this. Um, we can do struggling students and start with the smallest or the greatest and specify the range. This actually is my class. So what I'm going to do is go back to my dashboard. This is how I've set up my classes as far as the naming format has gone. I started this back in 2014, I'd say, and I've just put whatever class I was teaching and the students came underneath that. I've asked permission to show my 2015 GEDI 0996 section, so I'm going to concentrate on this one, and this is all the students that were in it. So, managing students. I can add students to this class. In fact, I try to keep it like for the whole year, this level at least. This is all the students that I'm coaching presently in a certain class. Since I'm doing 2015, I'm going to click on that and I'll show you all the students in my 2015. The class code that I talked about earlier is right here. Class code 32DHWG. It's very easy to add people to this class, to delete people. The add new students here will have you put the email in and you can invite the students, or you can just, if they already have an account, like I said, they can go into their dashboard and just add you as a coach. You can edit the actual naming format. You can actually even edit the mission. Student progress. Now my students have been on break, so there isn't going to be a whole lot of progress, I'm assuming. I'm filtering by class. So these are the skills that are mastered in the Algebra 1 mission, not necessarily the foundational skills. They still have the foundational skills within the Algebra 1 mission, but they're more or less like prerequisites. They don't count towards the total mastered. Mastered skills need to go up from levels in order to be mastered, and it's usually the case that they need to get 5 or so of the problems in a row right in order to start climbing. So if we look down here and I look at all time, and I have the students from this class, you can see how they've gathered all these points. I'm going to particularly look at one student so you can get an idea of what it shows for one student, Eddie. And you can see Eddie's, what he's done as far as his prerequisites, the mission foundations, what he's done in algebra, what he's done with linear equations, and it shows really easily what they're struggling with. As you can see here, combining like terms with negative coefficients. I can click on that, and it shows exactly which problems, and I could even click on the problems that would show exactly what his answers would be. There's two places we can make recommendations. We can make recommendations both in our student progress and our skill progress. So here, if I wanted to make him a recommendation, I can search for the skills in that level. This comes in very handy as far as if you're aligning it with what you're doing during class. So it's very nice because if I'm working on, for example, functions, I can actually recommend them function practice, and it can be considered homework. And I can come back onto this and see if they've done it. So I'm going to go back here. Another interesting thing that we can look at is, if I look at, we have any level. I'm going to go ahead and click his name again. And I'm going to go to his skills. These under here are recommendations. This is another place where you can make recommendations for the whole class or for each student. If I click videos, it shows all the videos he's watched in all time. I can filter that, of course, to months or to the last 30 days. I can see what badges he's earned. The one thing I like about Khan Academy is it's got some really good positive reinforcement in terms of the badges. The activity gives me a quick snapshot on what he's been working on and when he last worked on it, so I can see how much time was spent on it. And focus is also another quick snapshot of what he's worked on the most. For example, this blue area, simplifying numerical radical terms, he spent 4 hours on. So you can see what they spend most of their time on, if they're playing around or not. In skill progress, I can see the whole class is a snapshot. The mission foundations, like I said earlier, are prerequisites. And some students can fly through here, but they're not allowed to go beyond here until they get those. So this is actually the mission curriculum here. And it's very obvious what, students are struggling with. You can click on that to get more information. Needs practice. I can actually make recommendations, and it'll give the recommendation to just the students who need practice if I like. For example, if I click recommendations, it has a different skill. I can open up and see what the skill is that I'm recommending. And this is the practice underneath that skill. And I can go back. Let me go back. And actually recommend to 10 students. Just the ones that need practice. And that is done. The recommendation has options as far as when it's due, if you like. If I clicked on this and I wanted to look at the recommendation options, if this was something I assigned for homework, maybe I'd want to do a certain day at a certain time. Grid. Grid is another way to present what they have mastered. And this goes through each of the levels, and they build on top of each other to see how long the students have worked and what they struggled with. And here you can make recommendations also. You can filter it by those who are just struggling, and it'll show just the things that are struggled and what it was they struggled on, how many problems they attempted. Problems attempted, maybe they skipped those. Activity. Activity is another quick snapshot about when they were last on time task on during normal school hours. It also shows outside of school hours. So you can look at this one and you can see that Eddie has spent a lot of time outside of school and how much time and when he was last logged in. Any of this information you can download. Going to go to real time. I particularly use real time when I am in the computer lab with them. This would be a rolling kind of line, and each time a student may have mastered a set of problems or maybe had passed a skill level, you'll see this go up and down and up and down. So they get very excited when they see these like surges in their graph here. Projects. Projects are if you want to add any additional things like discussions or maybe some things to think about. They have projects with coding. They have all kinds of skills and things. So I'm going to get off of this, and I'm going to spend just a couple more minutes on the different areas of Khan Academy. If you were to browse their library, you can see exactly each of the missions, each of the math missions, and what the lessons were for each of these missions. So Barbara was interested in looking at some history, and we could probably find some things through here. These are their different partner content, the Momo, which I love, Nova Labs, they have NASA in here, a big history project. Usually the partner contents have some sort of curriculum all laid out. So what I'm going to do is click on another thing. All of the Khan Academy missions are related to the Common Core. So everything has some sort of standard. You can access this by logging out of your Khan Academy and typing in www.khanacademy.org/Common Core, and it'll show you how the Common Core is mapped to the different lessons. They have all new standards and aligned exercises, and we're going to look and browse their Common Core map in a second. This is where we're getting into the personalized learning. Grade level missions assigned to Common Core. Each student has their own learning dashboard that uses state-of-the-art adaptive software. Everything we saw as far as the reports, the students can see within their dashboards. And of course, it has the real-time data. And some of the organizations involved in the design are Smarter Balance and Illustrative Mathematics. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click on the Common Core map. Now this is just the math standards that relate to the Common Core. Everything with the high set and the equivalency tests are all now related to Common Core. So if you wanted to know how to relate this to what you were doing as far as standards go, you could click on this and it would show you all the skills and how they're related to the Common Core and actually what number of the standard it is. I'm going to go back to the Common Core. This particularly looks like it's only aligned for the math. So another thing I had wanted to show you, in community colleges, what I try to do in my class is to align a lot of this to their AccuPlacer. So inside the Khan Academy site, you can type in AccuPlacer and it'll give you all of the different videos that are aligned to each of these things as far as how well they'll do in the AccuPlacer. So the AccuPlacer is going to level them if they need a developmental class. So while I'm doing the high school exit exam, I'm aligning it with the AccuPlacer, so it not only just helps them with the GT, but it also helps them with their entry to college. On these, you can even click on any of these. If you're trying to teach place value, you can click on any of these lessons. You don't have to even have a mission, and you can. It has the recommended videos that go along with it. So it goes all the way up through anything you would need for the AccuPlacer, so that they would score beyond developmental. I'm thinking as far as the history would go, they would have some sort of playlist. This is called a playlist. It's not exactly a mission. It's a playlist that's used where you'll click on these and you'll personalize your own content. So I'm going to close that now. And I'm going to go back to our webinar, if I can find it. Okay. And actually, what I'd like to do is share the screen with you, Barbara, or is anybody else with us? I'm going to switch the screen back.
Okay, so I've taken you off of presenting to everyone.
Barbara, would you mind if we share screens and we can go find your something that's aligned with the history that you're needing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
Okay. Let me
Do you see?
Yeah, let me share my. Okay. You want me to share my screen?
Yes, I figured we'd play around with your Khan Academy if you didn't mind.
Okay, let me just move this over. And let's see.
I'd like to see what you have already and how you set up your missions. And
all right, I'm trying screen share.
okay, so it would be on the left side, and it would look like a green screen with a little arrow in it.
Right. Now I'm selecting that, but nothing is. Oh, well, maybe it would help if I turned on my video. All right. Maybe not.
Okay, well, we have plan B if it doesn't. There you are. You got it.
I'm here.
I got you. Well, at least I have your face. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what
I'm trying to figure out how to do. I'm pressing the green button, the arrow.
Is there any kind of X up in your address bar, or like something that would be like a pop-up error
I don't see anything.
or okay.
And I used this last week, and it worked beautifully. So I'm
It
trying to.
happens that way with technology sometimes. You just never know. I was late for my own meeting by the time I figured out that I was in the wrong site under the wrong email. So I'm just learning this too.
Let's see. Let me try it this way.
That is something. Well, if we can't get your screen shared, what I'll do is I'll go back into mine
Let's
and
do
we'll
that.
search some history. We'll do that? Okay, so I'm
Yes.
going to go ahead and get my screen back on.
And I have you all
And
as presenting to everyone.
yeah,
All right.
so I'm not familiar with their history programs, but we're a lot of these that I have open in my tabs.
And we can see your screen.
This, and I'm actually signed in still, so this will probably be a good thing. What I'm going to try to do is I'm undoing my tabs here. Okay, so it seems the easiest thing that maybe we'd want to do is to search, and you want to hook this to your which students? Your language arts, or was it ESL?
Her citizenship students.
Okay, and she has to be on mute when I do this, or?
No, I think she's just chosen to mute herself, but she did.
Oh, I can speak.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, Barbara.
So you see, I went into the subjects in the top here, and I just typed in the search bar history. So I'm getting already history, crash course in world history, art history, and I guess I can just do history, and all these will come up, hopefully.
Correct.
Okay, I've seen this.
Yes.
Any of these?
Yes, the first one, history.
History. So we have topics, we have videos.
Let's go to topics.
It's a lot of topics. I wonder if I just typed in citizenship. Have you tried that?
No, I haven't.
Let me try that. Just seems obvious to.
And you do this while you're in the classroom.
Yes, I'm doing this under my account, my coach account.
All right.
Citizenship, and forgive me if I'm spelling things wrong.
So I'm going to try it.
Now, what's coming under citizenship? This is kind of interesting here. Coliseum. That's not quite citizenship. But part of citizenship is that they're required to know American history, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So
Maybe
these are.
looking at government.
I think that the history thing looked like it might have been much more to deal with, or much more topics you could use. I'm also
try
by what?
government.
Government. I'm thinking that too. I know that they have some great things that explain the budget and economy kind of things. Even economy. Government articles, exercise. So topics, government spending. Let's look at the topics.
All right.
I don't know how physics became government, but
2008 bank bailout.
Personal bankruptcy, retirement accounts. They have quite a bit here. Civil liberties, privacy, and the Constitution. I'm sure that would be an interesting one.
Oh, yes, yes.
Social behavior. I know they're planning on getting more content as far as things go. Under subjects, what did they have? They had college partner test prep, partner content. Looking at some of these museums, even the J. Paul Getty Museum might. Have you seen this big history project? Can you see what I'm looking at now here?
Yes. No, I haven't.
The crash course and the big history project they have.
No, I haven't looked at that.
I haven't either. This is the first I've looked at. Crash course. Let's see what this is about. A crash course in world history. That might be something interesting. I wonder how fast this would go. Another thing you could possibly do is look under the coach resources that you have.
All right.
And for K through 12, I like to look under the for higher education math, but we'll see if they've added any other ones. Reference materials. Let's see if there's any history type things here. These are nice because you can print these out, a lot of these guides that they have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially if you're setting people up for a class and how to sign on and things. Um, like I said, they have mapping to the ACT. It goes beyond just the high school and the elementary. I'm looking for something that might be tailored. Sometimes they'll have classes that actually put their playlists up here for other people to use.
I did a search
Teaching
for
computer.
the Electoral College.
The which college?
Electoral?
Oh, yeah. Did you find something?
Yes.
All of these are classes that actually offer their playlists that have gone through and have searched like you're searching, you know,
Okay.
for different videos and different lessons that they can use. So searching through here, if we could find anything that was citizenship-wise, would be wonderful. But it goes on and on and on. This looks like math, higher education resources. Oh, I think it's just as easy, like you said, just to type in. And what did you search for?
Electoral College?
Electoral College. You know, there's a lot of us who don't even remember that ourselves. I can't believe they still have the Electoral College, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
Important types of college loans, paying for college admissions. That's funny. They have it all college based here. But searching in the library is a good thing as far as, you know, trying to find. Now, something like that, since they don't have a mission for it yet, you might have to just come up with a playlist of the different articles and the topics and the videos yourself,
Okay.
unfortunately.
And I can incorporate that playlist in my class for the students?
Right, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the playlist. And this is another way, instead of using a mission, if you want it more aligned with your class, if you type in playlists, hopefully I'm in the right area.
All right.
I think I'm in the wrong area. Let me go back to home. Okay, subjects. Search for subjects. It takes a little longer to create your own playlists,
Okay. And I'm
but you
following
can.
Terry, okay?
Excuse me?
I am following you.
Okay. Actually,
I'm mimicking what you're doing.
I'm going to Coach Resources, and there should be something about playlists in here for higher education math. Now these are different testimonials. Playlists. It keeps giving me this screen, and I don't want this screen. Look at most. Yes. I'm going to go to topics. Oh, okay. Maybe what I have to do is sign out of this to get to the actual. I'll go back to the library if I can find it. It's in my bookmarks. Yes, 'cause I know they have a whole thing on the playlist. Yeah, I'm going to go bookmarks here and find the library again. Okay, it's my coaching. Okay, this is playlisting as far as the acuplacers go, and creating different plans. Let me see. It can also be called a study guide. This is the advice they give you if you are finding relevant content. You can also add another instructor to help you building a study plan. Let me see. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for this question.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm here
I
for
just
you.
I just sent a link for the
Uh-huh.
Electoral College. They have a really nice video. It's under American Civics.
Oh, now is this outside of Khan Academy?
No, it's within Khan Academy.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, how did you now? Let me see. I'm going to put that in here. I need help with, in fact, I'm going to just put playlists here. But you would just take a regular Excel sheet like the one I showed you here when I showed you the Acuplacer one.
Okay.
And you could list, like they have listed, the practice sets, the standard. I don't know if you need the standards aligned to them. But you could start a list of the different topics and the
Okay.
tools that you found. And that actually would be wonderful, that something shared with the other teachers that are in Khan Academy. And I think that you can actually email them, and there probably have been teachers that have come up with the different lessons for that, because it is supposed to be something you can personalize to what you're doing.
Fantastic.
Get back on the line here. Okay, that's not me. Okay, so I'm typing in playlist and I'm searching, and you found a wonderful thing. I'm going to check it out. And this is when I'm logged off. It seems to work better when I'm searching and I logged off. Okay, so underneath the results for the playlist, it has a knowledge base. Um, this is where I think that people add their playlists. So community playlists. Users can make their own playlists on whatever videos. You can create them within Khan Academy. So here's different answers to how to create a playlist. If you wanted to ever click on any of these. And we'll have to see if there's anything familiar with what you have. And this actually goes on where people have saved their playlists. Going back to one. Oh, actually, I'm going back to the knowledge base. Browse knowledge base. Here is another. This is kind of like the library where you can frequently asked questions, bugs, learners, teachers and coaches, setting up technology, popular questions using the site. So which did you find, what did you type in to find what you just found about electoral, was it? Barbara?
Terry, you want to type in electoral with no I, so it's just Electoral.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm in the right. ELEC?
Toral.
Okay, that should be close enough, huh?
Hmm.
Okay, I think I need to sign in back in my account again. Now, as you can see, I switched back and forth from my signed-in account to the other one. I'm
Maybe
not sure if
typing
this.
in Electoral College, because
Yeah, let's.
that is part of the link. I know you can't see the chat box, but Actually, put in like leave electoral in there and put in electoral college.
Oh, okay. So anybody who's watching this, it it seems to have more resources as far as computer programming and math, but they are working on getting different things. So let's see if this will bring up anything. It brings up a lot of college things. If there's one thing that's hard to do, it's search through things. I'm actually going to go back up here. Browse all. And go back to the library. So at least it's done by content. Economics and finance, there's some things here as far as, I don't know if this would be too high of a level. Arts and humanity, history. This would be a good thing for students in language arts or for helping with the history exam that's required for high school exit. I know they do a lot of history things, computing, test prep. Another thing you can also do is to go into some of these test prep. Like I said, usually all standardized tests seem to be the same. So going into something that's AP, art history, or actually the Casey, I'm not sure if they've included history yet, but that is the California exit exam that's required for all high school students in California in order for them to graduate. So they might have something. In fact, I'm going to click and see if they have any history added to this. It looks like it's just the math, unfortunately. It looks like just the math. I'm very sorry. So
So
let's
it
go
looks
back to
like
work.
Barbara said when she was searching under the subject of history, and then
Right.
underneath history was American civics.
So under history, arts and humanity, and
This is art
so
history.
this
So
one, history.
this is the history of humanities. We'd probably want a history.
So I click. So that would be this one. Okay, and you can actually filter it to, I'm not sure how far back they have to go for the history for the GED. I know you have to at least know something about the timeline. This starts from 1900 to the recent past. This would be a great thing. And she found it a lot faster than I did, so bravo.
There's American
American
civics
civics.
right there. That's where
There
it
you
would.
go, and a crash. So excellent. So these aren't necessarily missions. You'd probably have to save the link, but you could create a playlist with this link. And in each of these, they have the different sections here. So if you clicked on 1900 to present, it's a ton of stuff. What it covers in the beginning of World War I. Even if they just get an idea of what was going on in the mind frame at the time. This would cover probably the major events in our history and how far as their time sequence and which came before which. So it would give you quite a good idea of the attitude of the Americans at the time. And it actually does more than I thought it would. Look at all the stuff just in World War I, and it has a quiz, so you could follow this whole course throughout, or you could pick and choose what you wanted. The Cold War. And within these, I believe they would have videos, which are great to show in class to keep students engaged. Korean War, so an overview and how long the videos. What's nice about the videos is they are great for people's attention span. They're usually not very long. Like if I were to play this one is 16 minutes.
The actual conflict of the Korean War, let's try to get
So it shows the time frame. So this I have stumbled upon thanks to Barbara, an excellent resource, not just for language arts and for history related things, but also for ESL, I would think. So I want to open it up and talk to Barbara because I'm not sure if she's there. So I'm going to go back to our Tech Talk. And we're going to talk and answer some questions and see what's going on. So I am going to not share the screen anymore so that I can hear Barbara. Okay, so we'll get back and see how Barbara's doing. Barbara, are you muted?
Yes, I'm on now.
Yes, I'm on now.
Okay, I'm very surprised. I'm very happy that you stumbled upon that. I knew there was something in there, I just didn't know how to get to it.
Yes, I really enjoy Kahn Academy,
Mm-hmm.
and my students seem to enjoy it.
Terry, I'm not sure if you have an outside speaker, but we're hearing a really bad echo.
Okay, let me see what I can do. It says I'm still presenting. I'm going to stop. Maybe, is that better?
Let me see if I can still hear my echo. No,
I don't hear an echo.
It's better. Yep, it's better.
Okay. I didn't know if it's the fan. It's such a hot day here today that I have the fan on behind me. So I was very impressed with the list of things they had under that history.
Yes, it's very nice. I will have to create a playlist for these to incorporate in my
Right.
Kahn classroom. Am I correct?
Not really. You can actually direct them if they're with you. You can tell them to go to subjects like you did and do the same kind of search,
Okay.
and they can just start there. So you can direct them to that. That was very easy to go to once Jamie was telling me. So he went to subjects, and then you went down to humanities, and the first thing I think on humanities was history.
Yes.
So you can have them do that, and then you'll get the actual results and the reports of how long they took, and they can go through each of those videos, and it looks like that would be a very nice way to present it.
Great.
You can do it as a class, or you can assign it for homework, and you can see that they've watched the videos, you know, when you check in. I'm still getting that I'm presenting. Oh, okay, I'm fine. So now, what made you? Do you use a lot of technology in your class?
Yes. Also, because we set up orientations for new students, and part of the orientation process is to introduce them to technology, have them work on their skills using the technology. We ask that when the students come in, we help them create their own Gmail account. And that's I make sure that each student has a Gmail account. And then we can teach them how to use various resources in the center.
I find that so important. There is no really list of things that we have to do. Our orientations start next week, but I think that's the most important thing, is to get them the access to these resources online, because that way if anything happens and there's a break, or they have a family situation where they have to leave, they have something that they can continue themselves. There's no excuse where they can't keep learning. So that's the first thing I do, as difficult as it is I get a computer lab reserved, and we get everybody logged in and showing them how to set up, you know, the resources, and set up Khan Academy is one of the first things that I do, because that gives them, it's very easy. They can start doing their math right away. In the orientations, we don't start the math yet or anything, and they're leveled according to their TABE scores. But it seems sometimes a waste not to just throw them into the math, so that gives them something they can start with and continue with if they didn't go to class even.
Absolutely.
So that seems to be the biggest problem, is the retention, and you know, not everybody can come 4 days a week, and that's what our schedule is that they come 4 days a week. And so I'm glad to hear that from someone else, that you're doing that too. Is there anything else you point them to besides Khan Academy?
I also use Play-Doh.
Play-Doh, yay! Well, you have Don up there. We are just now starting to get into the Play-Doh, because C&M is so big. The naming formats were really important, and so what we have is one person who does all the student names and everything, and then just gives that class list to the teachers. So it's not like we can set it up and add students right off the bat. So I'm very glad you're using Play-Doh. And do you
And then
use that? You level that according to the what test do you use to level the students?
for the English HSE students, we use the TABE 9 and 10.
We use the tape
For
too.
and for our ESL students, we use the TABE Class E.
You use the TABE E? You don't
TABE,
use the CASAS then?
it's called TABE Class E.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. Yes, we have a lot of students who, we're starting to get that students who need their GED but who are also ESL. So I get a lot of students in my math class who are there not because they need the math but because they need the English practice sometimes.
Yes.
So I like Play-Doh a lot because I think it's a little bit harder than the actual, regular or I shouldn't be saying GED, the high school exit exam. And, harder for me is better because then you're most likely to pass. But, so are you totally distance learning there?
No, no. We mix both of them, but in the classroom, I believe Don, he's asking the instructors to use to work towards a hybrid class so that they can have that the students can have that opportunity.
I think they need the support initially. I don't know how it's been for you when you've been in a classroom full of students you've had to log in who've never been on a computer before. It can be a little challenging. But Khan Academy, it seems to be something that they can navigate very easily. And it just starts right away. It starts them with that pre-test, gives them what they need, not what they don't need. And everybody gets a reward. So we can be all on the same mission and be doing different things, and they all get positive rewards.
It's also very visual, visually pleasing.
I find, did you notice that the students, after they select their avatar, and I didn't know this before, but my students told me that the better you get and the more skills that you master, you can watch your avatar get bigger and stronger and increase in size, and so it's very cool. But I think we need those positive, even if it sounds silly, we need the positive reinforcements like that to let them know they achieved something.
Yes.
Yes. So many of my students use it actually for studying for the high set and things. So you do the language arts only, or?
No, we also have, I have ESL here. And
right.
For our ESL students, we use a website, usalearns.gov.
Yes, I've been on that before, yeah. Especially for the civics, I think that was a good one. And have you tried the Crossroads Cafe for them?
Not really. I have.
We had a couple students that seemed to like those videos. They were more like for discussions and conversation, while out in public and things like that. We're hoping to get something in the Play-Doh that's more specific to the ESL students, because yeah. Especially, I didn't realize how many were just there, just to figure out math terms, things like cubed and stuff. So I think it's very important when using anything, Khan Academy or anything, to have somebody there so they can have that support, especially for somebody who's an ABE student who hasn't been in school for a long time. Because it is about confidence, and it is about, you can do this, and believing in themselves. So it's been very nice chatting with you. Did you have any other questions, or do you have any things you would like us to do next time in a Tech Talk or cover? Any particular site?
I can't think of anything right now.
Well, you can send us an email if you do, and please feel free to send me an email if you need any help with Khan Academy, or if you found something new. I'm here to help and support as much as I can. Like I said, we're all learning together, and I'm so glad you came back.
Well, thank you, and I enjoyed the presentation. Thank you, Terry, and thank you,
You're
Jane.
very welcome. And
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Barbara.
See you at the NMEA conference.
Yes, have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.